Hello guys and welcome to episode 10 of the So Tell Me podcast. We are really excited to wrap this up for the first series. How are you feeling, Claire?
I'm really excited. I can't wait to not have to edit the podcast. And I can hand it over to someone else.
Yes, well, TBC on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, welcome to the final episode of season 1. We will be back for season 2. Don't worry. This isn't us saying goodbye forever. It's just we're going to have a little break, reset.
We're saying goodbye to our fans, which is your mum, my mum, my friends, and Hannah.
Basically.
So we'll see all 6 of you next season.
Mum, I'll see you tomorrow night for dinner.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. We will be back for season 2. We're going to shake things up a little bit as well. Maybe change the structure, bring some new games and stories and
Maybe
things
guests.
in. And some guests, yeah, definitely. We are finally admitting defeat and giving up on listener stories. Because one of you are brilliant,
OG.
absolute angel, sent us in a story. The rest of you, quite frankly, I'm just disappointed.
Same. And also, I think there's only so much rinsing you can do of yourself.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Whilst there is copious stories, I feel like some of them aren't available for online consumption.
Definitely not.
So.
Anyways, moving swiftly on. In today's episode, we're shaking things up a little bit with the structure. We're going to move away from our usual structure and add in a few extra bits just to make it, an all singing, all dancing episode 10. So, first of all, we're going to chat about the podcast, what we've learned, why we started the podcast, and everything in between. So, Callum, let me ask you a very important question. Why did we start a podcast?
So what people don't know is we've actually filmed this 3 times now. It's very hard to repeat the same answer 3 times, but I'm going to try my hardest. So the podcast for us was always very important because we've gone to exhibitions. I think we've talked about this before. We've gone to exhibitions. We have our physical presence, but we do most of our work online. One of the biggest things for us is we were trying to find a different medium to connect with our consumer because there's obviously a lot of resource that people watch, like the Sewing Bee, and that's about it. And I think it's good to have something that is slightly different. So when people are driving to work, or if people have the time on the weekend to kind of just listen to us talk about products or things that are interesting, hopefully in the industry, or ways in which we can bring new products to the market, or just discuss things that are going on in the world of sewing and wider. And as we've kind of alluded to before, I think the community element of it is so important. We're trying to find a way to connect to our customers a little bit more. I just think it's a really exciting new way of reach. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. And I think it's something that hasn't really been explored from a business point of view before. So that's really exciting that we are, one of the first, if not the first, business that's trying to connect to their customers in this way. I'm sure, don't quote me on that, there may be others.
No, I think you're probably right. But I think the biggest thing as well in our niche industry, it's like, we were an established large dealer. This is kind of, we've been doing it for 10 weeks, and we've noticed a significant difference in consumer behaviour. We've seen an awful lot more new customers that we've never had before and never spoken to. And as a business for the last 30 years, we've completely relied on organic marketing. We've never ever done any form of actual marketing or social media. And obviously for us with this is a completely new thing, and we're connecting to people probably would never have connected to. And it is really interesting to see how, the amount of impressions you've gained on all platforms, jokes aside on Spotify, more than our 6 family, friends and members. And it makes a difference.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think it's interesting looking at like the age ranges that we're now accessing that maybe we weren't otherwise hitting with our organic marketing even.
Yeah.
So again, it's reaching out to bigger communities that we otherwise wouldn't have reached out to. I think it really feeds into the shift that's going on at the moment in the sewing world that at least I've noticed, is that there's a greater focus on community and connection. People aren't just sewing in their bedrooms, it being a very solitary act.
It's completely different.
It's completely changing. People are doing retreats, are doing online community get-togethers or in-person get-togethers. Things are really changing, and what people tend to be really loving is that connection, and that's really important going forward. So this is just another way that we can connect to our customer base, but also bring other people together. Hopefully,
but
that's.
I think it also gives familiarity. So, like when we go to the exhibitions and you speak to customers and they're like, "Oh, I've seen your podcast," or I'm speaking to someone on the phone. Like when Ben's been off for the last few weeks. A very long holiday, I've had to help him with the sales side of things, and you're speaking to customers and you're like, "Oh, how did you hear from us?" Or "I watched your videos," or "I listened to you on Spotify," or these are all really nice kind of like affirmations of I want to buy a sewing machine, I want to spend 300 quid, I want to spend £10,000, I want to buy it off someone who I know, and if I can't buy it off someone who I know in person, what's the second best thing? It's to buy it off someone who I trust, who I see. And that, for me, if we come back to your original question, is exactly why I think the podcast as a medium just gives you that additional layer of trust. And obviously there's so much data and analytics that goes with that as well. So as I said to you off camera before, it's like you can see the retention rates of the customers, and then when I start speaking, it just seems to just fall down very quickly.
I know. I think you should take that as a hint, really.
So season 2, I'll just be mute. Or say anything.
It'll just be facial expressions.
I'll just give you my facial expressions and then give you a hospitality story at the end.
Hey, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
So speaking of season 2, what do we have planned?
So literally an hour before we got on the podcast room, we've now hired a new podcast editor.
We have indeed.
Which is exciting. Claire has made herself very important in the business, which none of us were expecting. And the content that Claire obviously produces takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. There's a lot of work behind the scenes with the exhibition side of things. And frankly, you just haven't got time to do it. And I think when you look at the energy that goes into creating a podcast, there is a lot to it behind the scenes. You just don't have time to do it. So we've basically sent a really fun job ad out, didn't we? So we basically asked everyone to take the raw footage from our recent podcast, all unedited, all raw format. They had to then convert it into their retrospective editing suite, and we wanted the best podcast from the series that we've just done back. We reviewed it, and then we chose the winner.
We did indeed, yeah.
Which is quite fun.
It's been
so
really
we let her know
fun,
today.
Actually. We have, yes. So we're very excited to bring Charlie on board.
Yeah.
So she's going to be
Name
doing
drop there.
all of our edits, of course. All of our edits going forward. So
if they're rubbish,
yeah, you know who to blame.
charlie@sosense.co.uk.
Absolutely. No, and I think it's nice because we both want this to be, done really well. And if I dare say, we're both slight perfectionists.
We are.
So we want this done really well. So I think the amount of time that I could give to it wasn't going to reflect that in the quality of the edit.
And obviously we want to kind of hit like double figures for viewers.
Yeah.
So if we do like 100% increase, like 10, 12 viewers in season 2, by season 5 or 6, we're speaking to a crowd.
Yeah. A small crowd, but a crowd. But we're going to still keep doing it because we actually just like
even
sitting
if
in
no
a room.
one wants it.
Exactly.
It just gets us out of the business for a few hours.
But to show that you are watching, it would be great if you could hit the subscribe button or the follow button or the like button or frankly any button you can see near the screen.
Anything that will give us a notification to say someone is watching our podcast.
Just not the block button, preferably.
Or 1-star rating.
Yeah, no, avoid those. So my next thing is why we think season 2 is going to be important about growing the conversation. Which feels really, quite a heavy...
Springing all the questions on me
heavy
today,
old question.
Well, I think when we say conversation, obviously, there's multiple caveats to that. I think, obviously, growing the conversation with regards to community, building that sort of spirit of being a part of a sewing community, I think is really important. I think it's a huge industry that I feel like just needs a bit of a connection. And I think if we can almost like be at the pinnacle of that and move it forward, that's really exciting. I think sewing is very related to well-being, mental health. I think it's understated with its ability to actually help people in that respect. We look at what sewing does. Sewing helps charities, it helps upcycling, it helps, many people who you don't even realise are out there who actually need clothes that they can't afford to buy brand new, so they have to rely on upcycled clothes that people do for charities. So there are so many different things that are going on in the world that I feel like just needs a bigger voice.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the other exciting bit about season 2, and this will definitely help grow the conversation, is we're going to mix up kind of the format a little bit. So we're going to get guests on. So yes, you will still have the odd person from the office.
We have to build another chair.
We are going to have to build another chair. And we're also going to get some people from the industry to come in and chat to us.
Good.
So we've got a few people in the pipeline. I'm not going to name names just yet. But it also means we can talk about things like new machine launches and new products and things like that. So the podcast will kind of grow from just being a conversation to being more of a kind of review to, you know, it's really going to bounce around in that it's going to be multi-purpose.
But as we said before, it's like we're almost just going to grow with it and sort of see what it becomes.
Yeah.
You know, we'll try things, they might work, they might not, and then we can almost just keep doing it and evolving, and then by season 3, season 4, you have a completely different podcast, but it's more relevant to the wider group of people.
Yeah, and what they want to hear.
Exactly.
Obviously, we've spoken a little bit about what's coming up in season 2, but what is coming up for us as a business in the next quarter of the year?
Busiest time. And the thing is, we've been through the quietest time in the business, and it's been mental.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously excited from a business perspective, but it's obviously very overwhelming that we are all really busy now, and it's only going to get busier.
It's going to be absolute chaos.
So we've got exhibitions, got a lot of big exhibitions coming up, which I'm sure we can speak to you about. We've still got... Sorry.
I was going to say we have 6 exhibitions.
Is it 6?
Yeah. No, I tell a lie. 7 exhibitions in the next 3 months.
So we've got 7 exhibitions in the next 3 months. Things are progressing with the invention, so that's all happening.
We've got classes, we've got online content.
Courses,
new machine launches. Lots of things
loads
happening.
Of things.
Lots of really exciting things happening. So watch this space. Be sure to follow us on all the platforms to see what we're doing in current time, hopefully. So, shall we move on to the rest of the things we have planned for this episode?
Let's do it.
So I thought before we get into a couple of games, let's round up 2 truths and a lie, which means I have to try and remember what my 2 truths and a lie were from last week. Okay, so in no particular order, my 2 truths and a lie from last week.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the statements and then you can let me know which one you think is a lie and which one you think is the truth. So, statement number 1. I may or may not have broken multiple blades on my demonstration baby lock Aspire by sewing over pins.
Well, it's completely true, isn't it?
It is completely true. Sorry, baby lock. I can confirm you definitely should not sew over pins ever.
Disclaimer. So that's the truth.
So that is the truth.
For me, that was easy.
That was easy. Okay, number 2. My dad's office now has the company name and logo on every single glass wall or door in the building because when I was a child I walked into it.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I feel like it's true. I do feel like it's true because it's just such a random thing to come up with if it isn't. And if it isn't true, then you're a bit of a weirdo.
Well, we already know that's true.
Is it true or false?
It is indeed true.
Really?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Isn't it?
That is mad.
Yeah.
What are the markings on the wall?
Well, it's the company name and logo.
Oh, and that is just the visual. Do not walk into the glass.
Yeah. No, they don't have literally "do not walk into glass." It's
Claire
the
was
company.
here.
Yeah. Just my forehead print in the middle of the glass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was a very clumsy child. What can I say?
And what was the other one? The 100 meters.
So I have bought over 100 meters of fabric in one go.
You see, I thought that was true.
Well, the irony here is technically that's false. The truth is that I have bought 250 meters in one go.
That's nuts. That is mental.
When I was at university, I was doing an installation for my final piece, and I needed 250 meters worth of fabric. So I bought 250 meters.
What are you doing?
I made a room out of fabric.
A room out of fabric?
It's great. Heaven. But yeah, so that is technically, there were kind of 3 truths, but also not.
250 metres, bloody hell.
There you go.
Cost you a fortune.
It really, really did. So that is my 2 truths and a lie.
Never to be done again.
Never to be done again.
2 truths and a lie was great.
That's it. You know everything there is to know about both of us. And basically we can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
So that's the
We're
end.
We're going to leave that
one
in season 1.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll come up with something different so
More
you
fun.
still get to know us and find out our embarrassing stories. Do not worry, it will be back. Okay, so let's move on to some games that we have planned for the final episode.
It's like Christmas.
It is. I'm not sure you're going to feel like that in a minute.
Okay.
So this game was actually your idea, to be fair, but I don't think you've actually thought through what you've let yourself in for.
Was this the sewing machine quiz?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this
what a
is,
nightmare.
how much does Callum actually know about sewing? So in this quiz, I have compiled 10 questions. Some of them are picture rounds. So I will show you the picture and then you will tell me what you think it is. I will tell you the correct answer. For editing purposes, I'm going to do a little bit of chopping and you will find out at home what the item is that I'm showing Callum before Callum actually finds out what it is. So don't worry, I'm not telling you what it is and then Callum has to guess. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, well, you'll find out. So, question number 1. I feel like we need like a mastermind. What is the purpose of a cover stitch?
So a cover stitch is used commonly in things like activewear. So it is used to cover lock the hem to make a nice neat edge, but then also to give like a top running stitch over the top to give a really nice neat seam.
Do you know what? You're almost bang on. I'm very impressed. A cover stitch is your professional hemmer.
Ah, okay, fine. In fewer words. I think they call that a pass.
Yeah, correct.
1-0. I've not even
There's
had
no
to,
nil about
I've
it.
not even had to ask the audience yet.
You don't get that option.
Okay.
Number 2. What type of needles should you use for stretching knit fabric?
On an overlocker or just standard machine? Needle?
Just on a standard machine.
Jersey needles.
Also known as?
Ballpoint.
Correct, well done. Question number 3.
This game's not going to be so funny when I know all the answers, is it? It's being a bit weird. You're not getting the reaction you want, are you?
Just
He's got
wait.
another one right.
What does the term basting mean?
Basting, it's a temporary adhesive. So if you're putting multiple bits of fabric together for it to then be sewn or stitched, it gives it like a temporary stick. No, I completely got that wrong, actually. I know what it is. Sorry. Restart, refresh. Basting is where, let's say you're putting a quilt together. It gives the appearance or like adhesive glue can be a way of basting, but a more common way of basting is to like do a stitch per inch to baste a quilt for you to then like do free motion quilting over the top of it, for example.
Yep, well done. That is correct.
3 out of 3.
2.5.
12 years experience. Disrespectful.
Why would you use pinking shears?
Decorative.
No.
Just to give a decorative end to a card.
Oh! What is the one thing you've learnt on this podcast?
No, I actually know the answer to this. I think. Isn't it to do something to do with when you cut the fabric with them and then it means when you're dressmaking there's less bulk under the seam?
Yeah, okay, I'm going to give you half a point for that.
What can you actually tell me, because I don't know.
So you use pinking shears if you haven't got a way of binding the edge, so it stops the fabric from fraying.
Probably shouldn't say this. Me and Dom at all the exhibitions for the last 8 years have said that it's for cutting card.
Sacre bleu! How dare you?
That's bad.
That is atrocious. The number 1 rule of sewing is you don't use fabric scissors.
We've said that for years.
Paper.
Oh my god.
You should be ashamed
Half
of
point.
yourself.
Rubbed off. No points for that.
No points for that.
Okay.
In fact, I'm tempted to get rid of all your points for that answer. Question number 5 is a picture round.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you a picture. You're going to then guess what that thing is.
And what it does.
And what it does. I'm then going to tell the viewer, and then when I edit this, I'm going to magically switch around the order so that I tell you what it is I'm showing Callum first, so that you're not left in the dark. Okay?
Great.
What is this item and what is it for? I am showing Callum a tailor's ham.
That is a tailor's ham, and it's used to put your t-shirt or something into the corner of a shoulder so you can then iron it?
No, I'm not giving you a point for that.
What is it?
You
Is it
use
similar?
it. It's
Is it a
similar.
tailor's ham?
It is a tailor's ham. You are correct. When you're using it, you use it to press something into the correct shape.
Okay, fine. No, I'll take a half point for that.
Okay, I'll give you a half point.
Thanks.
Okay. Question number 6. What does a universal sewing machine needle generally mean it can be used for?
That feels like a loaded question.
It is.
What? Say it again.
What does a universal sewing machine needle generally mean it can be used for?
Well, I think there's a common misconception where people think a universal needle means universal for multiple types of threads, but it's actually fabrics. I should know this. This is really bad. I don't know. I actually don't know.
So a universal needle does not mean it can be used in all machines, or that it can be used with all types of threads, or that it can be used with all types of fabrics. What it means is generally it can be used for most woven fabrics and the occasional stretch fabric.
I've been selling needles for 12 years, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Caught me.
Mm-hmm.
Caught me out. That's interesting.
It is. It's very important. Pass it on. Question number 7 is more of a statement, and you're going to tell me whether it's true or false.
Okay.
All bobbins are the same.
False.
That is correct.
I mean, if I said true, I need to stop selling
You'd
sewing
be
machines.
lynched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely false.
It is
Do
definitely
not
false.
use the wrong bobbins in the wrong machines.
Number 8 is another pitch around,
Okay.
and this is in 3 parts. As in, you've got 3 items for one question. So, name this item and its use. I am showing Callum a tracing wheel.
You think you're going to catch me out? I know it.
Go on then.
Let me see again. That is... can't remember the name. It's not a tailor's awl. It's... So, I'll tell you what it does. I think what it does is it measures equidistant holes. I actually don't know. I can't remember what it's called though. It's a Cloverdue one. Let me see it again. Well, it's not a gardening tool.
No, this is a sewing podcast. It wouldn't be a gardening
I
tool.
think it's something to do with dressmaking. I think it's like a stitch per inch or a hole per inch to give you a gauge. That's my guess.
Is that your final
I
answer?
don't know what it's called. I can't remember.
It's called a tracing wheel.
Yes. What does it do?
And it allows you to transfer markings from your pattern to your fabric.
Was I right or not?
No.
Oh, God, okay. That's annoying because once again, we've sold them for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. No worries.
Second one, and I think you'll get this one. Name that item and what it does. I am showing Callum a clapper.
The only reason I know this one because I think it's quite inappropriate. I always feel like when someone says it and they ask for a clapper, it's just a weird word. It's a clapper.
It is a clapper, but what does a clapper do?
I actually don't know. I have no idea. What does a clapper do? So it's obviously to do with dressmaking. Is it like a weight? A fabric weight?
Nope.
Does it iron out a seam? Roll out a seam?
You get in there?
Wool? Something to do with wool fabric?
No.
No idea.
Okay, so your clapper can be used when you are pressing a seam to give it a crisper edge. So you can use your iron to press it, but then you put the clapper on to firm in the crease. You can also use it if you're using a fabric that doesn't like a lot of heat to help add in your creases.
How much are they?
I can't remember.
Use a bit of 4x2. Do we sell those?
Definitely don't.
Do we sell those?
We do.
Oh, yeah, no, they're really good. How much are they?
Can't remember. You can get multiple different sizes though.
They're really good. Don't listen to what I just said.
Okay, and the last one in this question. Name this item and what it does. I am now showing Callum a bodkin.
I know what that is. It's a bodkin.
Well done. And what does it do?
I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. Let me see the picture again. I actually couldn't even guess. Is it something to do with pulling thread through the loop?
Very nearly.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're putting ribbon or elastic through a channel, you can use that.
Oh, wow. Cool.
To feed it through. So well done. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
No, I'll give you half point.
Half point.
Okie dokie. Next one.
There's more.
Our penultimate question.
Okay.
What is a sashiko stitch?
You're nasty for this because you know my overlocking knowledge is shocking. The sashiko stitch is... I do know what this is.
Go on then.
So a sashiko stitch mimics a hand stitch for like a cross stitch sort of stitch on a machine. So it's a sashiko effect.
You kind of got there and then it just went south very quickly.
Why is it?
Sashiko is a traditional Japanese style of stitching.
That's basically what I said.
Absolutely not. And it is a running stitch.
Okay. Can you use it for basting?
You wouldn't, no.
Cool. Okay.
You learn something new every day. Okay, and then our last question, which I think you'll get. I ended on an easy one. What does a walking foot actually do?
Oh gosh, you just give me an absolute plug to. So basically, a walking foot is available on Pfaff sewing machines, Bernina sewing machines, and what it does is basically on Pfaff it's an IDT system. On Bernina it is a built-in dual feed. What this does is it gives a top feed to the walking foot of a fabric. So if you're working with slippy wadding and you've got a very light fabric underneath and on top, what it does is it sandwiches it all together and it just allows for an even feed through the machine.
What about Janome?
And Janome do it as well. It's called AccuFeed. Available at all major sewing machine dealerships in the UK.
Well done. Congratulations.
What did I get? About 6.5. I'll take that.
Couldn't even tell you, but I think we've gathered.
It's all subliminal. It's all back in the back of that head. It knows.
Callum doesn't know much about sewing.
Well,
Knows about sewing machines.
Just not sewing.
Just not the in and outs.
Yeah, fair enough. And do you know what? I'm really glad you didn't go into like the knitting accessories.
Oh God.
Because there's things in there.
Okay, so the last segment of today is a new part of the podcast, which may or may not continue depending on how this goes. And this is staff roasts.
Okay.
So your lovely sister Hannah went round and asked people to roast us, basically, in the office. So I have a list of roasts, which could be about you or could be about me.
Why do I just feel like this is all going to be aimed at me and you're going to get off lightly? Could be wrong. Let's see.
You could be wrong. You never know. And we can hazard a guess as to who this came from as well.
Can I add a roast as well?
Yes.
Thanks.
Why am I nervous now? Okay, so number one.
Absolutely. Do you know, I don't think anyone in the UK... What Claire's referring to there is something that's actually made me feel quite insecure. So we're listening back to the first few episodes of the podcast. I have realised I have a bit of a tick. So when Claire's speaking and I don't find it very interesting, I go, and it just sounds really creepy. So yeah, that's what she's laughing about, and I'm sorry that I've had to narrate that. But what I'm trying to narrate to Claire is that she says absolutely every other word. So what you've noticed from podcast 1 to 10 is we're also going to play a little side game now, and we're going to say who can guess how many times Claire said the word absolutely from episode 1 to episode 10. And if anyone can guess the exact amount, I'm going to give them a £500 Barnyarns voucher. The first one to get it wins.
You realise you have to go through and watch all of the episodes again.
No, I'll see if Charlie fancies it. Sorry, Charlie.
Absolutely.
I'll stick to that. I bet it's 73. I bet you've said it 73 times. And every time you say it now, which is fine because you don't say it as much, I always just go...
Have you seen that I've changed it from absolutely to definitely?
Yeah. It's still just as bad.
No, I know.
Anyway, sorry, back to the actual roast.
So, This individual conducted a full-blown interrogation after Festival of Quilts to find the culprit of the missing So Centre bank card, resulting in one extremely paranoid Chris, Will being interrogated, and we later found out it was this individual that left it at the Airbnb all along.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to back myself. So they're talking about me. It was actually my mother who left it at Airbnb. I gave her the card to go and get some shopping, and she put it on the top of a wooden shelf, and she called me very nervously, like, I know where it is. I know where the bank card is. So it's her fault, but I'll take the rap for that. We got it back RMSD the next day.
We'll have to get Charlotte on the podcast.
I didn't interrogate them for that, though.
I know.
I had them all in a line, like, right, what's your story? What's your alibi?
When did you last have it? I don't know. So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two. This person used to drop these quotes in every staff meeting. Like a motivational speaker. I'm all about low effort, big impact.
Good one. Yeah, that was me. I'm good at quotes.
Gets better.
What is it? Low? Yeah, it's low effort, high reward, or low effort, high impact. Yeah.
Be bold, make mistakes. Do you want to say your quote?
Yeah, I'll say it. Pass me in.
I'm not showing you the rest.
I don't think I remember it. It's be bold, make mistakes. Don't take opinion from people that mould your creativity. I'm basically Oscar Wilde. I told you that when you were going through that period where we started the podcast and every single person had an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of opinions.
How did that motivational quote from me sit with you?
Did
you feel empowered? Did it?
It hit it right on the head.
Do you trademark that sort of thing or not?
I think Oscar Wilde probably beat you to.
No, that's mine. It's my quote, that.
Okay. Next up. This person sent... Well, it says 2 here, but I actually know for a fact it was 4. This person sent 4 members of staff to do a food shop at Festival of Quilts and said to ring them if there were any issues with the card. Not only did that person give the completely wrong PIN number, but they also didn't answer any of the 5 phone calls, as they had left their phone inside to go and play tennis.
So, right, I'm quickly understanding that this isn't just a general roast, it's actually just a me roast.
Well, Hannah did ask everyone to roast both of us. Take that how you will.
That is true. That was me. Next.
I think we should do this after every big show.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
This person convinced Chris and Joe to go on the podcast, only to use a grand total of 3 seconds of the footage.
That was Claire, by the way. That is so funny. Yeah.
Chris and Joe.
What screams you're not good for What screams you're not good for podcast content, like giving you 3 seconds of 3 hours worth of film?
I think the thing with Chris and Joe is they are hilarious, but you can't actually put a lot of what they say on the internet.
That is funny. That's a good one.
That's a really good one. Okay, and then again, I know who this has come from. This person says, "Can I be annoying?" About 100 times a day.
Yeah, that's you.
That is me. I
That
say
is
that
you.
to Ben all the
It's
time.
a prequel to you asking a question.
Yeah.
Of, you need something.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Claire.
Definitely.
That's funny. I thought they were quite good, those.
They are quite
Yeah.
good. I think we should do that as a semi-regular feature because it's quite entertaining
Okay.
to have us roast.
Yeah.
Have us be roasted. I think we should also do it with other members of staff,
I agree.
namely Williams dear,
Yeah,
because he would be hilarious.
we can arrange that.
So that wraps up episode 10. And in true us fashion, it has been incredibly chaotic.
This has been a car crash.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a few weeks off.
Me too. We're going to have to become more professional, seeing as we're having someone else edit it. We can't just edit out everything that we say
she's going to
incorrectly.
see a few politically incorrect things.
Well, I won't go that far. Just us laughing at each other, laughing, or having to restart again and again and again and again.
It used to go really smoothly. It used to take 20 minutes. Now it takes about 4 days.
Yeah, but now I think we're more comfortable with each other, so we just end up laughing at each other.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
Yeah. It's fun, though.
Anyway, that was good.
That was great.
Again. You can't say our own podcast is great.
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Be bold.
Be brave. Don't let others mould your creativity. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first 10 episodes of the So Tell Me podcast. It's been a blast. Mm-hmm. We are really excited to grow our figures from 7 to 14 next season. And we look forward to seeing everything that grows in our journey of discovery on this podcast. So from myself and Claire, thank you and good night.
We'll be back.